Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Brittingham and Friends. Of course, I am not Charles Brittingham, but I am Linwood Jackson, and I'm going to host the show today. We do have a great show lined up for you. We do have a featured musical artist. She's a young lady doing phenomenal work in the Delaware Valley. I just had to bring her in when I heard her singing. She is a phenomenal country and western singer goes by the name of Miss Julia Zane. Julia, come on in. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fabulously well, thank you. Tell us, how long have you been performing?
For about almost 2 years.
And what kind of music do you play?
I play country music.
Country music?
Yep.
For 2 years?
Yep.
How old are you?
I am 13.
13 years old?
Yep.
Oh, wow, good. What school do you go to?
I go to PALC Cyber School, Pennsylvania Leadership Charter School.
Wow, good for you. And you're going to sing for us today?
Yep.
What are you performing?
I am going to be singing My Church and Girl Crush.
All right, 2 songs, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Miss Julia Zane. And we'll put the mic right here.
Okay. Thank you. I've cursed on a Sunday. I've cheated and I've lied. I've fallen down from grace a few too many times, but I find holy redemption when I put this car in drive, roll the windows down and turn up the dive. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? It feels like the Holy Ghost running through ya when I play the highway FM, and I'll find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. When Hank brings a sermon and Cash leads the choir, it gets my cold, cold heart burning hotter than a ring of fire. This wonderful world gets heavy, and I need to find my escape. I just keep the wheels rolling, radio scrolling, till my sins are washed away. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? It feels like the Holy Ghost running through ya when I play the highway FM, and I'll find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feels like the Holy Ghost running through ya when I play the highway FM, and I'll find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Yeah, can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feels like the Holy Ghost running through ya when I play the highway FM, and I'll find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Yeah, so this next song is Girl Crush. It'll be I got a girl crush. Hate to admit it, but I got a heart rush. It's slowing down. I got it real bad. Want everything she has. That smiling, that midnight laugh. She's giving you now. I wanna taste her lips, yeah, 'cause they taste like you. I wanna drown myself in a bottle of her perfume. I want her long blonde hair, I want her magic touch, yeah, 'cause maybe then you'd want me just as much. I got a girl crush. I got a girl crush. I don't get no sleep, I don't get no peace, thinking about her under your bed sheets. The way that she's whispering, the way that she's pulling you in. Lord knows I've tried, I can't get her off my mind. I wanna taste her lips, yeah, 'cause they taste like you. I wanna drown myself in a bottle of her perfume. I want her long blonde hair, I want her magic touch, yeah, 'cause baby then you'd want me just as much. I got a girl crush. I got a girl crush. I got a girl crush. Hate to admit it, but I got a heart rush. It's slowing down.
Hurry, hurry, step right up. See the sun is showing town for only 50 cents.
Step right up, hurry, hurry, before the show begins. My friends.
Miss Julia Zane, the young country western star that just performed for you today. I've seen her out in the community and it was just phenomenal. I'm sure you agree. She does have YouTube and Facebook pages out there. You can check out her pages, and we're going to talk to her a little bit more before the show's over. Right now, I do have two phenomenal gentlemen that are also working very hard out there in our community, trying to make our lives better, one step at a time, one day at a time, and they're doing great work. Ladies and gentlemen, pleased and honored to have on the show with me today, Mr. Newcastle County Executive Tom Gordon and Attorney Sam Guy. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's an honor to be here. I want to thank Charles Brittingham for allowing us the opportunity to be here this morning. I wish him all Godspeed and getting better. And what a great opening with Jolie. That was fantastic to have such a talent in here this morning to open the show.
And Tom, you know as well as I do, our young people out there doing some great work, and we had to shine the light on them when they do. Some of us are messing up, young and old, but when they're doing great work, we want to let them know and that we appreciate them and encourage them to continue on all across the Delaware Valley and this great state. I know you're doing a lot of work, for example, with the parks, and allowing the young people to go to the parks and enjoy the scenery, the forestry, the animals, and what comes to my mind immediately is Carousel Park. I know you did a lot of work out there. Tell us about what's going on at Carousel Park, if you would.
Carousel Park we have pretty much rebuilt again. It is a beautiful 100 and some acres of flowing horse farm. And in it, we have a petting zoo, we have a turtle pond, fishing pond, playground equipment, and it's a home and a mounting unit. And we encourage everybody from Newcastle County, from Wilmington, to get out there and spend the day. It's free, horseback riding. This weekend, we're going to have Sleeping Under Stars at Rockwood. And that's, literally a block outside the city. And we need to put that phone number out for anybody that's interested. We
Right.
need to get more. So you come out there during the day, Saturday, and you put your tent up, and there's vendors, and it's going to be a lot of exciting things for children and parents to do. We're trying to create with all of our parks an opportunity for parents to spend quality time with their kids, having fun. In this case, it'll be sleeping in a tent all night long. We provide activities, shows, TV show will be on, and we'll have acts and all kinds of fun things. There might even be some fairies in the air, and I understand there might be a unicorn there. So it's really something I want to try to get more people from that area to come to it. So we need to really talk about where they can call. If you don't have a tent, we have a number of tents we can provide. But everybody that's ever been there will tell you it creates great memories for their family.
It is great, and it's a lot of great memories. But you said Rockwood Park. You sure it's at Rockwood? Or because I remember last year it was at Carousel.
No, they're at all three. But this week, the 5th, is at Rockwood, then Carousel, and then Bear Glasgow, another park we're developing and creating, which is just phenomenal. All three of them are phenomenal, and they're all for the entire county to enjoy. It's a very, very diverse, great programs, and I promise you, if you go there, your kids will be talking about it for the rest of their life.
I know. I remember the memories that I shared. My parents took us, my brothers and I, to the park, and I can't get them out of my head now. Enjoying the fun time with your parents and parents, with your children. You have to be engaged with your children. It is fun and safe environment at these parks across Newcastle County. As the executive said, this one's going to be at Rockwood. We do have the number to call. It is 302-395-5652. Again, that's 395-5652 to call. If you want to sign up and would they have to register or?
You can come right in that night, or you can register ahead of time. Nobody's turned away. If you don't have a tent, we'd like to have that number so we can make sure that we have enough tents. It's free, and it's a wonderful time, and we really need to let everyone know. A lot of times it's hard to get the word out that in this day of 3,000 channels, and we do our best with social media. But really, at the end of the day, we've just got to get more people to know that bringing your child down here, it's a safe environment, hundreds of acres of just total security. The police will be around the perimeters, and it'll be a safe night.
Absolutely, it always is. Now, Mr. Gordon, you brought a friend with you. Bring him in, bring him on here. Who'd you bring with you?
Colleague, advisor, and I don't need to introduce Sam Guy.
You don't have to introduce Sam Guy.
He's on more than I. So Sam, welcome to the show today.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Guy has a television program as well as Mr. Gordon has a television program. So you have 3 talk show hosts right here. Sam, come on in, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Glad to be here. What I want to say is I want to kind of rewind with this issue of the parks, because Tom Gordon, I can remember all the way back in the 90s when the city of Wilmington was having some difficulties. He was involved in having the county manage some of the city's parks while the city was reorganizing. And so he has a vision, and it's been a consistent vision going that far back, to have quality park facilities that are well maintained, that have activities that contribute to the quality of life for the citizens of Newcastle County, which includes also all of the municipalities. Whether you live in Newark, Middletown, Wilmington, you're also part of the Newcastle County family. So what he's been doing extensive outreach to all of the municipalities and all of the areas in the counties, and moving activities to all of the different facilities so that people can get the full benefit of these investments, because Newcastle County basically has the top network of parks that are managed and maintained by county government in the state of Delaware. And he has a long history of establishing new parks and developing and maintaining the existing parks. So he's kind of under stating the story, and I just wanted to add that in
Well,
all fairness.
you're absolutely, I agree with you, Sam, with the understating the story, because I, for one, have visited a number of these parks. I must say, Newcastle County Park, right? You have top-notch baseball fields there. You have a hardball field there. I think it's 4 softball fields out there. Professional tennis. All right, you got to mention this, and all of these activities, or most of them, are free. Some of it, maybe some of the professional stuff might be a little small fee to get this specialized training, like the tennis. There's a professional world-class tennis instructor out at Newcastle County Park teaching top-grade tennis. Now, I don't do tennis, but maybe some of you guys out there do. I have been by the park, and I've seen this with my own eyes. You also have the soccer field out there. You have a walking, the Bark Park is over at Carousel.
We have 255 parks.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bark Parks are at Carousel and Bear Glasgow right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Del Castle has the tennis courts and the Champion Tennis Arena,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing more there. But there are so many parks that we just need to encourage. Look, not a lot of people can afford to go away this summer, but come to the parks, and I promise you, it'll be as though you went to Disney World, some of them. And that's what we're doing. Down in Bear Glasgow, it is. Yesterday we had fishing with the police. So we had the police out there fishing, and we had a lot of families out there.
Mm-hmm.
We have ponds at Carousel where you can bring your father and mother can bring their child out and go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you'll be catching fish. We have turtle ponds, we have playground equipment, we have the best horses. We can do horseback riding for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just, it's underutilized. We've got to get the word out. From the city, Carousel is probably 3 miles or 2.5 miles.
It is, and you mentioned it is the home of Newcastle County Mounted Patrol as well. Shout out to Sergeant Mary Devine. She's been on my show a couple of times, by the way, filling us in on what's going on with the Clydesdales.
We have Clydesdales for the
Beautiful Clydesdale horses for Mounted Patrol, and Sam mentioned earlier the work that they're doing, helping the Wilmington Police Department. I know you've lent the services of the Mounted Patrol to the Wilmington Police Department. Wilmington used to have a Mounted Patrol, you know.
We got
Correct.
the Mounted Patrol from Wilmington, which I think was really, I think it should be still in Wilmington.
I agree.
And I think it was very valuable in Wilmington.
I remember Sergeant Mary Devine, who's in charge of the Mounted Patrol out at Carousel, was telling me, she says, you know, Linwood, there's nothing like these animals, these fine, these gigantic animals, but the children just love running up to them and petting the animals. You know, you don't see them running up to police cars. You know, there's still stuff. They run up to these animals, and that brings them in closer to our law enforcement officers.
It breaks the barrier down.
It breaks the barrier down, and that's what we need to bridge the gap, and that's why I like to see Wilmington do it
As
over
much
again.
as they want to have them in there, we'll be in there.
I know that's right, and that's what we need to have good relations with our children. You know, with the police department. I mean, you're doing some great things out there, and I have to commend you as well. You know, you are the county executive, is a retired police chief in Newcastle County, as well as now he's going into the 3rd term for a historic term as a Newcastle County executive, doing great work. We just talked about the parks. Let's move on. What about the libraries you have coming up?
Libraries, you know, we have 15 libraries. I've built most of them. Bear, Newark, we did Tally Day. What we're about to do is build the best, and it's not really a library, it's an innovation center. We're doing so much on Route 9. If you own property on Route 9, people are trying to buy it from you right now, as Sam will tell you. Do not sell your home. Route 9 is going to be the economic engine of the county. With the Port of Wilmington growing there, with this innovation center that's going to teach kids the excitement of learning about math and technology and coding from that area. And it is so exciting that we're going to create a model for the country to show these are smart young people that, given the right opportunity, this facility should have been built, as Councilman J Street will tell you, Penrose Hollins will tell you, it should have been built 20 years ago. And we're going to make it the nicest in our inventory. And well, I can't say enough about it. If you ride by there, it's already started. and we'll be opening it within a year.
Well, we all know how important technology is, especially sharing it with our young people. A lot of young people are disenfranchised in that our schools don't have internet access, for example. We all know how important it is to have internet access. The whole world is revolving around that. And some schools don't have it, and these libraries will offer internet service.
This is going to offer more than that. This is going to be the most technologically advanced building in the state. And everything it does, we went throughout the country to pick the 10 best programs in the country, and we said build a building around this because we know children from all walks of life will come to this. And for the first time, that area is going to get an opportunity to be very proud of what they get.
I agree 100%, and I know you worked closely with Miss May Jarman, who was NACP and involved in a lot of other organizations. She was involved with you in starting the library.
May and Lee have been involved in everything. Well, it started with tearing down the DeLore Motel, which was a drug haven, building the Powell Center, and a dream of building something more in a library.
The swimming pools, refurbished those.
Surratt
as well.
Park is one of our pools, is our only pool, and it's fabulous.
Powell Center.
The Powell Center. The best part about this area is the home ownership and the people. That's where so many veterans and so many great families still are. That's why we can turn this around and make this the economic engine for the state of Delaware. We miss May every day, but we've got to move on.
And that's why we keep putting this information out. We're pounding it out across the airways. You guys have to get involved with these projects that we're creating here. They're there for you to enjoy. The whole family can come out. All of these fun and beautiful activities. We mentioned Ms. May Jarman, right on top of my mind, with the NAACP, and I know Mr. Sam Guy is a past president, amongst other things, of the NAACP here in the state of Delaware. He's a former city council member, and now he's serving as an advisor to Mr. Gordon in Newcastle County. Sam.
But you have to mention Surratt. Mrs. Surratt was another icon. And we have lost so many people who we now stand upon their shoulders, and it makes you want to just quit. But you've got to find another Surratt. You got to find another Jarman. You got to find another leader that will carry it on.
And keep
I'm
pushing.
sorry to interrupt. I know you knew Mrs. Surratt personally.
I know
Definitely, without question. Without question. I've been involved with the Route 9 corridor a lot during my life in various ways, redistricting and as an NAACP leader. But as you were talking about the libraries, again, you know, Tom has had a commitment to having a library system throughout Newcastle County that has top-rate technology within those libraries and that has a good selection of items. So you'll find spread throughout of all of Newcastle County a strong library system, and we continue to support that system. There's a book called Happenings, and I encourage people to either get a hard copy of it. You usually can get it in the library, or you may be able to download it, and it has a list of, like, each quarter of all of the different activities that are taking place throughout Newcastle County. And if you've never seen this document, if you look at it one time, you'll just say, wow, I didn't know there were so many things to do. So you got to get that book,
Happenings, the magazine.
Yes.
Newcastle County magazine puts it out, was it every week? Month?
Quarterly.
Quarterly. A lot. As a matter of fact, if you have projects that you want to do, like a Zumba or whatever, then you can sign up and to be at one of the Powell Centers or what have you and give classes. Is that correct? In Newcastle County, there's a lot of places. Also, they can rent out space to have meetings. I remember a young lady saying, you know, we don't have a place to meet and it costs too much to get a room out. You can rent a room and have a meeting at these buildings as well. These services are available to you.
Libraries as well.
I have to say, you know, it's not a political statement, but if it wasn't for this great county council and it wasn't for these great managers and all these departments, I could say forever, here's what I'd like to see. But I have a really tremendous amount of talent that surrounds me, and a county council that, if you bring them the idea through finance, George Smiley, and the rest of the company, Reverend Bullock, it gets done. Public safety, you know, you have to deal with J Streets and Bell, and They're fabulous people, and public safety is just winning awards. You don't, knock on wood, see a lot of problems coming out of Newcastle County public safety. And that hasn't always been the case. And I'm very proud of the job that the chiefs are doing there, Joe Bryan. I'm proud of Larry Tan and Miller and Chief Setting. And they're about to announce a whole bunch of new programs dealing with how we're going to start talking about drugs are not a criminal problem, they're a social problem.
And on that topic of public safety, I want to take it down one more level, because he mentioned the police department. And even though each jurisdiction has their own police department, whether it's the city of Newark, Ellesmere, Wilmington, Newcastle County is kind of an envelope that's there to support and assist them when needed. But also, Newcastle County is able to patrol the edges of all of the municipalities for things coming in and out of cities. So our police department has been very helpful and very cooperative with all of the local police departments and assisting them as needed. But another unit that kind of goes unnoticed is our paramedic unit. And for example, if a person gets shot today anywhere in Newcastle County, we have one of the top-notch paramedic units in the country. And so there's people who probably should have died, but because of the top efforts of our paramedic units, they ended up being people who lived, who ended up being injured versus being dead. And then we have our communications division, which is basically the lifeline. When folks need emergency services, we have a professionally trained, certified organization. That's the communication network that holds everything together for all components of public safety throughout Newcastle County.
If I could comment on it, we've doubled up the paramedics in the city because of the issues, and the response time has been phenomenal. But when they pull up, it's as though an emergency room from one of the hospitals is there, because the doctors are on the line and the technicians are as good as the hands of the doctor. And we're very proud of that. And a lot of times they're the unsung heroes that don't get the credit, because they're seeing, you know, a lot of that terrible stuff, and they're at every one.
They are to be commended, and I agree with you, gentlemen. Now, you are a retired police chief, and we have attorneys sitting right here. I have to touch in on this expertise here. You know, we just talked about the units in the police department, the police different units, Mounted Patrol and the county police, Wilmington Police. I have to ask, do we have a police in our schools? Because, you know, we're having a lot of trouble in our schools, not all of them. There's some of them, what comes to mind recently is the young lady that got attacked in one of our schools. And I'm not sure if our schools are being patrolled, or should they be. So I want to ask you, I know like in Philadelphia, they have a Philadelphia police in the schools, or whatever they call them, the school police or what have you. Do we have that?
We used to. We were asked to leave in part because of a jurisdictional agreement. Most of the schools are in the state police area, and they do a fine job. But recently we've hired community activists who are doing a fabulous job, and they have the ability to help out in the schools. And you could learn a lot more about that in the budget, and they're involved in a lot of the issues that you're talking about. We've got some tremendous people that are not policemen, community activists, and maybe we should have them on the show, because they are involved very much in some of the stuff that currently occurred.
So from a police standpoint, you're saying that we have people in the schools monitoring and helping to patrol the hallways. And from a legal perspective, though, these young folks are in trouble, the ones that did the attacking, of course. These are lives ruined. We have a young lady who's deceased now. We have other young people that's going to have to stand accountable, be held accountable for it. What can you speak on that a little bit, though?
Well, I guess the best thing that I can say is there's two types of incidents generally. If a law enforcement officer is present when something happens, then they saw it out of their own eyes and they're able to arrest a person on the spot. If something happens and a law enforcement officer's not there, or a school official's not present, then you could recognize that not only does the school have to take a little bit of time to figure out the details of what happened, but so does law enforcement. So a lot of people might wonder, well, how come nothing has happened yet? Well, at a school level, schools are able to instantaneously suspend children while they're investigating pending expulsion. Law enforcement often wants to be able to do good investigation, because you never want to have a situation where you arrest the wrong person or you don't have a strong case. So I'm just saying, sometimes these things take a little bit of time when an officer is not present or a school official's not present. So that's what I would comment on, is the timing. But it's not going to be forever before the school district has a good understanding of what took place and they take their actions, and likewise with law enforcement.
And I would say that our young folks need to think before they act on some of these things that they're doing. You know, you can't go out there and just, you know, they actually murdered somebody, you know, and they're not thinking. So think, because you are going to be held responsible for your actions. You know what I mean? You have to be held accountable for your actions. Everything you do has consequences, good and the bad.
And this was in a bathroom, I mean, and that's not somewhere you would normally have security. So we've got to rethink it. You might want to have Jay Streets on to talk to you about. He was aware of the situations that were leading up to this thing.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to have our young performing artist who performed for us today join us, if you guys don't mind, and we'll talk a little bit. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for joining us. This is a Brittingham and Friends television show, and he's, you know, we hope he's doing well. He gave us the show, and we have the phone is ringing, and let's see how you do this. I forgot. You know how to
pick
do
it up and hit speaker. Here.
Speaker. Hello.
Hello there, Mr. Linwood.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you?
All right. Do we need to turn this up any? Can we hear this? Yes, sir. This is Linwood Jackson, and who's on the line?
Rick Shepard from the world famous Recording Drifters.
Rick Shepard from the world famous Recording Drifters. But you called right. You know, we just did your commercial, the tribute to the Ladies Mother's Day concert. I know you're on it, and thanks for calling.
Looking forward to being on it.
And where are you calling from?
Today I'm in Eastern Pennsylvania.
Eastern Pennsylvania, because I know Rick Shepard from the world famous Recording Drifters travels all over the world performing the greatest hits, some of the greatest hits that we love singing to. So that's good. Listen, I have a guest today on the show. We are live on air, Brittingham and Friends, and we have Mr. Tom Gordon, Newcastle County Executive here, and his advisor, Mr. Sam Guy, along with a young lady, Miss Julia Zinn. Did I get your name right? Zane. Julia Zane is a beautiful country and western performer. She's 13 years old and opened the show for us. So they're a panel, and now we have you on the line.
Good. Country western music is really great. Big business. Big business.
Yes. Do you sing country and western?
I didn't sing country and western, but I would like to.
Well, I'll tell you what. We have a great young lady here. She opened the show, and but we told her all about you. Maybe she has a question for you. Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear. What inspired you to start performing?
She wants to know what inspired you to start performing, Rick.
What inspired me was my mother every Christmas used to play Bing Crosby songs, White Christmas, Bells of St. Mary, and all the Bing Crosby songs. And I started singing in the bathroom, practicing, trying to sound like Bing Crosby back in those days. When I was about, I would say 7, 8 years old.
7 or 8 years old, and your mother turned you on to Bing Crosby. Well, her mother's in here in the studio today as well, managing her, and we're gonna give a shout out. But here we have Tom Gordon here.
Rick, no one knows that you were a New York police officer. I know you don't talk.
All right, I
about
was
that.
a New York City police officer,
And that
retired.
didn't hurt that you needed extra money.
That's right, send my kids through college.
When are you going to be down here at your house in Bear so we can go to lunch?
Okay, very soon. I'm going to be there, let me see, on the 8th, on Mother's Day, I'll be there to do the show there for Linwood.
I'll be there, but then I'll go get something to eat maybe.
Oh, okay, good.
I
I'd
miss
love
you.
that. I'd love to come there and do a summer concert for you.
Well, we're working on that. It's just I don't know how I get the traffic when you come. Just blocks all the traffic in Route 40. But I got to figure that out.
I wish you were a commissioner in New York when I was working there.
Yeah. We miss you, and we're very proud to of all the work you've done. And he was on the Drifters from '66 on, where they did all the hits.
Is that right, Rick? From 66 on?
That's correct, and we're still going strong.
Yeah, can you share with us a little bit about what you're going to do on May 8th, Mother's Day tribute?
Well, we're going to sing This Magic Moment, Save the Last Dance for Me, and of course, Under the Boardwalk.
Under the Boardwalk. All right. You think Tom Gordon and I can join you with Under the Boardwalk?
Sure.
I've been practicing.
Tom did sing with us a little bit.
I've been practicing.
Okay. I'm going to definitely call him up there.
I'll be there.
I tell you what, we don't want to mess you up, though, buddy, so we'll just let you do the singing and we'll do the talking. How's that?
Now, I've been singing.
That's right. I want him to sing a little bit. He can sing.
You have any other questions?
No, just a comment that I always loved Under the Boardwalk because I love classic songs and I always loved that. I used to listen to it in school all the time. I actually did a report with that.
Well, she
song.
may be interested. I'm sitting here with Rhonda Franklin of the Marvelous Review. I'm at their rehearsals today over here in Easton, PA.
Wow. Wow. Can we talk to Rhonda?
Hello, Rhonda.
Rhonda Franklin. How are you, Rhonda? Are you still performing? I know you are.
Well, yes, I am still performing. How are you?
Fabulously well, thank you. Where's your next project?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, you got to ask the boss, man.
No, she's performing with us in Canada. That's July 1. We're doing a tour there with the Marvelous Review, Shirley Austin of the Shirelles, original lead singer of the Shirelles, and the original Toys featuring June Montero.
Wow, well, you know what? We're looking forward to all of your performances. You guys are keeping the music alive, American musical legends. You guys are, and we just love watching you perform and singing the songs that you guys, all the greatest hits, along with you when you're performing. You got any tips for any young folks? Like we have 13-year-old Julia here. What would you advise that she does to be in the music industry as long as you have?
We'll bring her with us on.
Definitely.
Okay, well, I would advise her to keep doing what it is that you're doing. Follow your dreams. Stick with it. Let no one deter you from your thoughts within your mind, your soul, and your heart. And stay in school, whatever you do. And, you know, the rest will fall in place. Believe me, never give up on your dreams.
Never give up. Well, that's some great advice. You know, we appreciate you guys calling in. Anybody got any more questions?
That's the best advice from the best two in the world.
Oh,
so
yes, thank you.
maybe you could come along on this one day. We're in Wilmington, and get up on stage.
Absolutely. Would you like that?
You'd
I
love
would
to.
love that.
Oh,
Thank you
yes,
so much.
I would love that. Thank you for the invite.
That would be a good start for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We're not going to hold you up. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. We want to thank you for calling in, Rick.
Hey, Rick, thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much.
I miss you, man. Give me a call.
Rhonda Franklin, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
All righty. Talk to you later. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be talking to Rhonda at about at 2 o'clock on the radio show. Is that correct? You still with me?
Fine. I'm ready for you.
Yeah, I almost forgot. I'm focused on the TV. I forgot about the radio. Thanks a lot, Rhonda.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to send her the number.
I will. You can't forget the number, right? I will just be, you know, we're on the Faith 1510, 2 to 3, every Sunday live. These gentlemen has all been on. We had to get Julia on the radio next. But Miss Rhonda Franklin will be one of my guests today on the radio. Julia, you do a lot of charitable work and volunteer work.
Yes, I do.
Tell us about some of the agencies that you work with.
Well, I work with the New Avenue Foundation, and also as well as our Community Cup, which is a place where people with special needs can go and just be themselves and listen to music. And I go there and sing quite often. I also have my own organization that I am with called Cell Phones for Soldiers, which the soldiers overseas, when they don't have talk time like for the holidays, I do this charitable work that I collect old and broken cell phones, and then they get the cell phone cards, and then they can call home to their families.
For the military personnel.
Yep.
Wow, that is phenomenal. And what about the Save the Children function that you have coming up?
Save the Children. Oh, yes, I got asked to perform at that. I also do the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm going to be performing at that. And just charity has always been a big thing in my life because I just love helping others and feeling like I'm doing something to help someone else.
Are
Makes
you
me
sure you're 13?
feel- Yes.
mean,
Turning 14 in May, though.
Good for you. Happy birthday. You know, and you know, so it doesn't matter how old you are. Young, old, what race, religion, whatever, you can contribute and be a help to society. How can people help you with your organization?
Well, if you just know, if you have any old cell phones, just let me know. You can contact me on like my YouTube or my Facebook, and also I keep my events on juliazane.com, which is like my webpage, and I keep my events up there, and you can see my charity works up there. So.
And you're all over the place. Who helps you? Who's your manager?
My manager is my mother, and she's amazing. I love her to death. I love my parents. They've always supported me in my dreams, and I just really want to thank them.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yep, I do. I have one brother and one sister.
Do they perform as well?
No.
No, you're the lead performer, huh?
Yep.
You only need one good one in the family, right?
Yeah.
So what, do you play music as well, instruments?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm learning how to play the ukulele, and I play the guitar.
Wow, you're all over the place. It is phenomenal
Yeah.
for a 13-year-old. Now, also, what do you do for fun?
Well, for fun, I just like to hang out with my friends. I like to go ride my horse. We have a horse carriage business, so I have my own pony. He's so sweet. And I like to play with my dog. I like to watch movies with my dog. And I also like doing school. So in my free time, I still like to do school. And I work on like my homework. And I'm in a National Junior Honor Society, so I kind of have to keep that up. And but I love school. I love education. I love hanging out with my friends. I love having fun.
You know, Julia, you do so much, you should write a book.
Oh, thank you.
Have you written a book?
No. Well, I've contributed to a
You
book.
contributed to a book. Okay, I knew it was something that...
Yeah.
And what's the name of the book that you contributed to?
88 plus ways music can change your life.
Okay, and what did you share with them?
It was just like an inspirational book, so I shared how I got my start when our horse Baby passed away. It made me very upset, but she always seemed to like support me, and like we would always have these times together and these moments. That's when I actually started singing, was when she passed, because I thought I'll doing it for her, and then it just took off since there.
Are you teaching yet?
Teaching?
Yeah, do you teach?
No.
Not yet? You don't mentor? Not yet?
No.
What college are you going to?
I haven't really thought that far yet. I really,
Okay.
if I have to go to a regular college, I would probably go for law. And if not, I would like to get into music college. That's my big thing.
All right, and where are some of the places you performed at?
Some of the places I perform at is I'm a regular at RP McMurphy's, which every Tuesday. It's a little club in Delaware County. And then I also play at AJ Stevens Crab House, which is like a seafood place, and they have an open mic every Thursday night, so I go and play there as well. I also have performed at Love Park Christmas Village and JC Dobbs, and a lot of places in Philadelphia, the Bourse, and
so if somebody, you've been everywhere, and if
Yeah.
somebody wants to book you for a performance, they can contact your management team, your mother, or contact you on your website, correct?
Yep.
And put your website out there one more time.
JuliaZane.com.
JuliaZane.com doesn't get any easier than that. Now, do you have legal representation? You know, in the music business,
Yeah,
you're sitting right next to a lawyer here now.
yeah, I don't have that yet because I'm still kind of getting out there. I've been super busy. I haven't had time to really look into that. But my mom basically handles everything. She looks over my pages and makes sure that there's like everything's good.
All right, now I just had to throw that out there because you're getting big. You're gonna need somebody
Aw,
to watch
thank
you,
you.
get your mom backed up. You know what I mean, with the legal representation. That's what they always told me, is that for in music business you need some good legal advice, and maybe Sam Guy could chime in on that a little bit. And what do you think, Sam? What do you think about this young phenomenon we have here?
Well, there comes a point in time when that's needed, and she has a mom as a manager, and she'll know when that time comes, when it hits the point where there's legal concerns. And do you actually write music?
I'm actually starting to, yes. My vocal coach is helping me write a few songs, and so are my friends.
You had a
Okay.
half hour with Rick Shepard and talked to him about his 40-year career, and he'll tell you all the mistakes and the good things that occurred.
Well, she's also working with Mr. Jimmy Lee from Blue Magic. Is that correct? Tell us about your experiences with him.
Well, I was just singing at an event, and then my publicist found him pumping gas at a gas station and invited him to come. And then he found me, and he helped me. He's been a real godsend because he brought me around. He showed me how to work the crowd. He's so nice.
So you're surrounded by professionals.
Yeah.
You can't lose. You can't lose. Good for you.
Well, thank you.
But we just mentioned Mr. Jimmy Lee is the lead singer, or one of the lead singers for Blue Magic.
Yep.
We just spoke with Mr. Rick Shepard from the world famous Recording Drifters. He's going to be on the tab. We have Mr. Skip Borley Jr., who is a local Delaware. He grew up here in Delaware Valley, Delaware's own Skip Borley Jr. He actually wrote the song, the title song to our program, A Tribute to the Ladies. It's a great song. We want to pay tribute to our ladies. We have to recognize as men, honor and recognize our mothers, and particularly, and this is on Mother's Day. We have Mr. C.P. Lacey, who was a Showtime at the Apollo legend. Have you been on Showtime at the Apollo yet?
No, not yet.
Well, Mr. C.P. Lacey is the Sandman at the Apollo, and he's going to be on this bill as well. I'll be hosting. We have Mr. Tom Gordon, Newcastle County Executive, already said he's coming on. I know he's bringing his advisor. Sam, you got your tickets yet?
My daughter's graduating that weekend.
Uh-oh.
So I'll be out of state
With the family.
at the graduation.
I know that's right. Congratulations, Sam. Got another attorney in the family.
Not attorney, graduating from college, 4-year college.
All right. We know what's next, though. And we certainly want to be joined by Julia Zane. If we can get you up on stage, we certainly will. We're coming down to the wire now. I just want to thank Mr. Charles Brittingham, who is another phenomenal person doing great things out in the community after serving over 15, 20 years with the NAACP as state president and then as the Wilmington branch president. We wish him well. He has this show here where we like to shine the light on our young people. We like to get talk about the issues, but more importantly, the solutions to those issues. And we all know, and I'm sure these gentlemen and the young lady here would share that we can't do it alone. We need your help to get involved. It doesn't matter how old you are, what you're doing, where you at. You can be a help and contribute to this society. You see somebody homeless out there, you can direct them to Mr. Tom Gordon has an office out there, homeless, doing a lot of work for homeless people. The Sam Guy, you got anything you want to close with, Sam? I didn't give you enough time, man. I know you're itching to say something.
I mean, I guess what I want to say is it's enjoyable working with Tom Gordon as a person who's an expert in operating the government and with a vision for great things for the community. And I do want to thank you, and I want to thank Charles for hosting us, and also Jill, is that
Julia.
Julia? Yeah, Julia, you're doing wonderful
Well, thank you.
work, and just continue on your path. And it was great to hear you perform.
Well,
So
thank
thank
you.
you for having us.
All right, the pleasure's mine. Mr. Gordon, how's Josie doing?
Josie is my co-host. I meant to mention that.
Had to get it in.
Josie is everywhere, and everybody loves her, and she does a fabulous amount of work to make sure I stay straight.
And what's the name of your show?
It's Conversation with Josie Roy with Tom Gordon.
All righty. Sam Guy, what's the name of your show?
Rooftops and Community Crossfire.
Wow, you got two of them. All right, and my show is The Urban Compass on Comcast Channel 20. We're on Comcast 28, and every Friday 4 to 5, and then we have the radio show on Faith 1510, the Linwood Jackson radio show on 2 to 3. So it's just been a pleasure and an honor speaking with you guys, man. It doesn't get any better than this, putting it, great information out to the community. Don't forget, please, go to those parks, man. Hit those libraries. Take your kids with you and learn something and share and help somebody, will you? All right, it's been an honor. Charles Brittingham, get well, man. Thanks a lot. Anytime. And with that, we'll close. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
And thanks, Charles.
Linwood Jackson presents A Tribute to the Ladies Mother's Day Concert, Sunday, May 8th at the Wilmington Drama League. What's a better gift to give to your mom than enjoying a fun event with great music starring Blue Magic and co-starring Rick Shepard of the world-famous Recording Drifters? That's A Tribute to the Ladies Mother's Day Concert, Sunday, May 8th at the Wilmington Drama League, 10 Lee Boulevard, Wilmington, Delaware. To purchase tickets, call 302-654-4242 or visit clink.com. linwoodjackson.com.